everyone, and a very warm welcome to our Blue Skies conference. There are, I'm told, some 350 people that are going to be joining us virtually this afternoon from all around the UK and abroad, which is really wonderful. And it really is great to have so much insight and expertise coming together all at one time. You'll be aware, having just watched that video, all too aware, in fact, many of you will be acutely affected by the impact this pandemic has had on our aviation and transportation sectors. It's devastating for jobs and businesses. I know I talk about it on the BBC every day, but the idea of today's conference is, yes, to recognise the problems we face, but also to look ahead to how we can rebound and how we nurture the green shoots that are there using the Heathrow ecosystem and the unique global profile that it already has. So through these next few hours, we're going to unpack the future of aviation and transportation. We'll try and reimagine how our global health hub can help drive that growth in jobs and skills, how it might encourage and lead the innovation. And in a week when the Prime Minister has set out his vision for Britain's greener future, what that will mean for aviation, transport and travel, how do we create opportunities from that? In our plenary and breakout sessions, and we've got plenty of it planned this afternoon, we're going to explore the really exciting ideas that are developing for a new innovation district, West London's answer, if you will, to Silicon Valley, a sort of nerve centre for aviation, connecting government and local leadership with all the creative industries, higher education, tech, research, and entrepreneurship. In other words, a sort of environment to nurture and encourage the blue skies thinking that we will need going forward. And that's what we're here to do. So before we begin, let me just say a few quick thank yous to our partners. Some of them you will see there on our screen, but a particular mention, SAP, U Capital, Segro, Brunel University London, Magway, Donata, ABM, Fujitsu, HCUC, and the West London Institute of Technology. And a special thank you also to West London Business and White Label Creative, who've worked so hard to bring us all together today. Some quick housekeeping. Clearly, I don't need to tell you all where the fire exits are because you're not with me. But clearly, we want you to get as much as possible out of the time that you spend with us today. And that means as much audience participation as possible. So you can submit questions to speakers and panels via Zoom's Q&A feature. That will be there at the bottom of your screen. And please also share your thoughts and comments during the panel session on our virtual post-it wall hosted on Miro. You'll see the link to view the boards is in the chat, and it should also be in the joining instructions that you will send. I have tried it. It is very easy. If I can do it, so can you. And if there are any problems, then please just place your problems in the Q&A section, which is there at the bottom of the screen, and one of the team, of course, will be able to help you. We also want to encourage lots of networking throughout this event this afternoon, and you can find out how to message each other through private messaging in your joining instructions. And finally, for those who've pre-registered to join a short networking event at the end of this conference, our sort of virtual post-conference drinks, then of course you'll be able to meet your fellow delegates in small groups. So our opening speaker today is Seema Malhotra. She's the MP for Feltham and Heston, of course, Shadow Employment Minister. Her constituency borders Heathrow, and she has been one of the leading lights behind today's conference. We'll hear first from Seema, and then she's going to introduce our first keynote speaker, the Singapore High Commissioner, His Excellency T.K. Lim. So Seema, over to you.
Great, thank you very much, Christian. And on behalf of Andrew Dakers and Kwasi Kwarteng MP, who's been instrumental in today, I'm absolutely delighted to welcome you all to our conference this afternoon, Reimagining Our Global Hub, for what I'm sure will be a very inspiring session. It is paradoxical that COVID-19 has both brought us together as well as kept us physically apart. And we know that COVID-19 has had a devastating impact on aviation. Families and businesses in West London have also been hit harder than other areas. And over the course of the last 6 months, I've seen the work of local councils, our job centre, Parliament, including the APPG on the future of aviation, businesses and education institutions coming together. And coming together to prevent the job losses where we can and support those who lose their jobs to find new opportunities. In Hounslow alone, 38,000 people are now without a job or furloughed. And as we deal with the immediate catastrophic rise in unemployment, there's also been the recognition that we need to plan together for growing our resilience in the future. That's how we build back better and do what we can to invest for growth. We need Parliament to play its part. And this week I joined others in a debate on how we can get planes flying safely again with improved testing and international coordination. But so must we also play our part, because we know that even with the uplifting news of the vaccine, that COVID-19 will be with us for some time yet. That's why we're having this conference today, and I want you to continue to be part of it. In one sense, this story of the conference is the story of the last 6 months, how we came together as businesses, with West London Business also setting up a series of events, employers getting in touch about the need for support, many working also with the unions closely who stepped up to the challenge to help us get through the crisis alongside planning for the future. So I want to thank the unions, GMB and Unite, for the work they've been doing on skills and support as well for those who need to retrain. And throughout that summer, we started to ask those questions about green skills and what they mean, on new courses that we need our FE and HE institutions to offer for future jobs, on how employers could work more in partnership with each other. And it was also clear that we were not getting a coherent voice coming together for aviation as a whole, which, as we saw in the video, is much more than airports and airlines. So I want to thank all the Heathrow employers who talked to me over the summer, and many of whom are taking part today. I also want to thank some of our US colleagues who have been an invaluable source of insight and wisdom. Professors Jonathan Aronson, Michael Kleeman, Gary Dimsky, and others who helped us think outside of the box, and also our conference steering group members. Because this work has led to that call for the Innovation District in West London, which is being launched today, to find those new ways in which we can all work together to secure those large-scale opportunities for new investment, growth, and jobs. Because we know two strategic drivers will also shape our future, the future of transport and the economy. Green growth and the impact of digital and virtual technologies, vital for us as we look to our path to decarbonisation and becoming that green economy powerhouse. And at the same time, we want to see that the Innovation District becomes the Silicon Valley of aviation, networking people and places across the UK and internationally, nurturing new skills, new products, and reshaping services, driving growth through supply chains across the UK regions and nations. Because the future is not going to be the same as the past. And today's participation and today's summit is the first step to realising that fresh vision for our local economy. Because the green economy is now a national priority. Last week, Labour published its consultation on the jobs-rich green economy. This week, the Prime Minister announced plans for a green industrial revolution. And as we think about what we take forward, what we're doing is creating the jobs of the future for the children of today. And as we launch the Innovation District, we know that we will be part of a family of innovation districts in the UK, like the Leeds Innovation District that's drawing together universities, teaching hospitals, and the City Council to accelerate innovation and growth. Now, our vision is about individuals, communities, and our shared future. And with our international community, it's also about how we stay connected across the world, learning from the best and with the best, as Britain defines its place in the post-COVID world. One country that has seen itself being a regional and global hub and has forged a worldwide reputation for innovation is Singapore. As we look to strengthen our international partnerships and look to tackle the challenge of climate change, as well as harness the opportunities of digital, there's much that our nations have in common. So as we develop our plans and reimagine our global hub, I'm delighted to welcome our next speaker, the Singapore High Commissioner, His Excellency TK Lim, to address the conference and share his insights. Thank you.